Turn off the lights for meditation. It's pretty sunny, maybe it will not make a difference, but let us try. Everybody can hear? Yes? By now, we know how to get into the posture. Begin by head, neck, and back in a single straight line. If you're seated on the chair and you don't need the back rest for some time, you can come forward a little bit. Eyes softly closed. Nowhere to go. Nothing to gain. Nothing to lose. Right now, there is nothing to do. I simply am free. I visualize standing in front of the beach. The waves come, touch my feet. The waves go back. Maybe even the breath is following the rhythm of the waves. When I harmonize the breath to follow the rhythm of the waves, I see that I am one with everything. The same wind that is powering the waves is also powering my breath. Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. The wind outside powering the waves as they rhythmically, gently come to the shore, touch my feet, and then go back. That same wind is my prana when I inhale. It is a comforting notion. A very comforting notion. I am with the breath. I am one with the waves. I am not helpless. I am not alone. When the mind strays, go back to the waves. See the breath aligned with the pattern of the waves coming to the shore. Every inhalation is like the wave coming to the shore. Every exhalation is like the wave going back. And the slight noise that the breath makes, which I only can hear, my own breath sound, is also sounding like the waves. Coming in, going out, coming in, going out. Keep watching. Let the waves have a lulling effect, not in the form of sleep, but in the form of a deep tranquility. The certainty of the waves, the rhythm of the waves fills me with harmony. Sthane, everything is A-OK. Everything is A-OK. No separation, no loneliness. The same wind that powers the waves also powers the prana in this body. Strangely, visualizing myself standing in front of the ocean, which is always in a flux, like my own prana, which is always moving. Even though I'm standing in front of everything that is moving, I am in touch with the stillness, the observer of all the movements. Looks like a paradox, but really is not. Then comes the understanding. Neither the wave I am, nor that wind which makes the waters move, neither the prana I am, nor this body which is enjoying the prana I am that awareness which powers the waves, powers the prana, powers the wind, is behind everything that moves, itself nischala, unmoving, still, eternal, happy, relaxed, compassionate, tranquil, and peaceful. This is the meaning of the word I, aham. See that. I am that which makes the wind blow. I am that which makes the waters flow. See the meaning of the couplet. I am the Shakti behind every breeze. This I come to know with ease. I am that which makes the day, which makes the night. In fact, I am all light. Jyotisham Jyotihi, Param Jyotihi. In fact, I am the light of all lights. I am the moon, I am the sun, because I am the non-dual one. What problems can this day bring when I am in harmony with everything? In my awareness, the waves come and then they go. I watch the Jagat move to and fro. When I am at peace, I can surely tell that with this world all is indeed well. Slowly, slowly, I learn to let everything be. Only then I can say I am totally free. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly open the eyes when ready. Do people want the lights or not? Without light, are we okay? It's kind of soft. Yeah. What verse are we on? Huh? 28. Let me go there. Let's all be on the same page. 27 or 28? किं स्वरूपमेत्यात्मदर्शने अव्यया भवा पूर्णचित्सुखम्. Did not say the opening prayer. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururātmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Atmadarshane Kim Swarupam Asti Atmanaha. What is the Swarupa? Because the thing is, if anybody says, after this you will be, after this study of what? What is this called? Upadesha-Saram. What will you be? You will be awareness itself. Not that you already are not awareness, but you are awareness itself. Who will come to the class? Tell me. Awareness means what? Like somebody who is like a CCTV camera which never goes off. Yeah. Keeps capturing everything. Some of them move also, little bit this way, that way. They keep capturing everything. Who wants to be a CCTV camera aware of everything that's going on? Please raise your hand. Nobody. Nobody will come to Vedanta. In fact, this is the reason why nobody comes. Very few people come to Vedanta because they don't know what this awareness is. Okay, big deal, I will become Satchidananda, but I don't want to become Satchidananda because what is this? Simply always watching everything. How boring. As I told you before, I want to be the sugar. No, I don't want to be the sugar. What I want to do? Yeah, sample the sugar. Taste the sugar. I don't want to be the sugar. If I be the sugar, what happens? Yeah, I lose out on the taste. Everybody wants a taste. And that tasting is what is called Ananda. This is the problem. The problem is with non-understanding what this awareness is. This awareness is yourself. Okay, big deal. This awareness is myself means what? How is that going to help me in day-to-day life? I get a lot of requests. Come give some lectures here in my area or in this ashram or what. So then I always ask them, what topic? Did you have a topic in mind? Vedanta in day-to-day life. Bhagavad Gita in daily life. If Bhagavad Gita and Vedanta are not meant for day-to-day life, I don't know who it is meant for. What is the purpose? It is to transform the day-to-day life only we study Vedanta. There is no point in studying Vedanta and saying it has nothing to do with my day-to-day life. It is to completely revolutionize my day-to-day life. That is why I study Vedanta, but there seems to be a disconnect. That's why questions of theory and practice, that's why what is the connection between Anubhuta Sukham, meaning a Sukha that is experienced and a Sukha that is talked about in the Shastra. Look, the thing is, if you haven't experienced what I am talking about, then I also can't talk about it and nobody can listen to it also. The teacher has to have a frame of reference from where to talk. And I rely on the fact that you know what Sukha is. Otherwise, I can't give lectures on Sukha. And nobody will come also. Why? Because lectures on Sukha will be Sukha, Shushka. Means all dry. It won't be lecture on Sukha, it will be discourse on Sukha, Sukha lagega. Because if it is outside of the range of experience, people talk like this. Brahman has to be experienced. It's a special experience. I went to the World Parliament of World Religions. And on my panel, somebody was talking like this. Somebody said, the Brahma's Sukha, Brahmananda is completely separate from day-to-day Ananda. Okay, what is this Brahmananda? And the gentleman started to say, sitting right next to me, that you feel something, some nectar drip in the back of the throat, which is very, very sweet, and then you swallow it, it's like nothing other than, nothing else in the world, it's out of this world. I felt like telling him, watch out, it may be the cerebrospinal fluid leaking. Yeah, happens sometimes. What is this? Anybody having this dripping sensation should go to the doctor immediately. Check yourself into a hospital. It's dangerous. Something coming in the back of the throat and dripping, no matter how sweet it is. It's a frightening thing. Yeah. And everybody is going, yeah, we have not had that experience. Mahatma Ji, tell us how to have that experience. I can't. This cannot be taught, the gentleman says. This has to be caught. So then now we know it's some kind of a virus, it's a catching disease. We don't need all these riddles. Sukha is loved by all. Why? It is already a basis, a topic that is being experienced all the time. If you haven't experienced Sukha, then even if Lord Brahmaji came, he also could not talk about Vedanta. The whole Vedanta is about your daily experiences. So then Sukha is experienced, Dukkha of course is experienced. Everybody knows Dukkha is experienced. If Dukkha is experienced and Sukha is experienced, then the doubt comes, which is the real me? I already told you about the gentleman on the right. Now the lady on my left, in the same conference, said, when it was her turn to talk, she said, well, we are all broken and we are all whole at the same time. How is that possible? Tell me. No, that's what we experience. Broken and whole. You can't be broken and whole at the same time. You can't do that. You can't be asleep and awake at the same time. You can't be moving and non-moving at the same time. It has to be one or the other, because the two which she is positing are opposite. Opposite. Some African person came and talked like this. That was the last parliament of religion I attended. He said, Namaha. Time to stop going. Yeah. So, this is the problem. The problem is that what is the issue is not understood. The issue at hand is not that I am dukkhi. That's a conclusion. And might I add, it's a wrong conclusion. That I am sad is the wrong conclusion. This is what Narada also came, but he knew it was the wrong conclusion. Soham Bhagavaha Shochami. I am such and such a person. Even though I know so much, I know everything, I still am subject to grief. This grief is non-acceptable by anybody, even if you don't know V for Vedanta, A for Atma, B for Brahman, you don't know even the ABC of Vedanta. Sorrow is not acceptable to me. This much I know. Because when I am sad, I am agitated. When I am sad, I feel like running away, especially from myself. When I am sad, I cannot handle it. When I am sad, I get upset, resentful, angry. All these other emotions seem to just catch on to this so-called sadness. The nature of this sadness has to be probed into. And then only we will see, because without interrogating sadness, we come to the conclusion, I am sad. This is what Vedanta questions. If you are sad, then you must be intrinsically sad. That must be your nature. Are you ready to accept that? No. If you are sad, then what happens? You can't be happy even for a second. But then despite yourself, you smile at a joke. You smile at a joke. An 8-year-old told me this joke. Why was the mathematics book really sad? Why? Yes, because it is full of problems. So, see, we laughed. Silly joke, childish joke, childlike joke. But we are able to enjoy. We are able to enjoy. Sometimes you can laugh without even a joke. Pujya Swamiji was a master of that. Yeah. How can you laugh without a joke? Well, Pujya Swamiji one day in class told a joke. Everybody laughed heartily, except for one gentleman. Thought about it. 1 week later, standing under the shower with blood supply to the brain increasing, what happened? He finally got the joke. He laughed out loud, like Like a madman, he laughed. Even while dressing up, he was laughing. Then he says, I have to go see Swamiji right now. And laughing, he drove to see Swamiji. Laughing, he told what he understood of the joke. He just laughed. Swamiji, he can't even talk. Swamiji, what happened? That was such a fantastic joke. Then Swamiji said, tell me what you got out of the joke. And then when he told what he got out of the joke, Swamiji laughed. So for one joke, 4 laughters. Right? So the original laughter after the joke was told. Laughter number 1. 1 week later he found out what he thought the joke was. Laughter number 2. And then what is laughter number 3? Hearing what his interpretation of the joke. Swamiji's laughter number 3. And hearing this whole thing, we all laugh and enjoy laughter number 4. To this day, we still do not know what the joke is. Laughter number 5. Yeah. No matter how sad you are, no matter how difficult the day has been, you can laugh. Even without a joke, you can laugh. And Pujya Swamiji knew how to make everybody laugh. Once he told me a story. He said, there was one lady sitting right in front. And everybody would laugh, she would not laugh. He said, I made her my project. I said, before this retreat is over, I'm going to make her laugh. So he just brandished the best of his jokes. And then finally the lady laughed. And then as the retreat was over, he asked her, you have such a wonderful smile, such a lilting laugh, why don't you? Why didn't you laugh? I have a dental complex. I don't like my teeth. So that is the reason she did not laugh. Not because she was not happy. That is what we have to see. That whenever possible, we want to not be the sad self. Then again we know that this sadness is an imposter. Even without Vedanta, I know that the sadness is a total imposter. Imposter. Why? Because it is not, we don't know where it comes from. We don't know where it comes from. People say, if you are next to somebody who resembles a downpour, then you will also start feeling sad. Is that true? Maybe to a certain extent it is, but it need not be true. Supposing you are called to attend somebody's funeral, somebody in your friend's family passed away or something like that, you have to go to a funeral. As you are going to the funeral, you get the news that you have won the mega million lottery, dollars. Then can you keep a straight face at the funeral? You have to really school your features to look sad because you are happy. So from this we understand sadness is not catching. Like the flu, like the corona, you can't catch the sadness from somewhere else. So now we have a problem. The self is intrinsically free of sadness because I am repudiating it at every corner. I am eschewing it. I don't want it. Get away from me. Oh sadness, get away from me. So sadness is not intrinsic to the I and neither is it extrinsic to the I. Think about it, such an interesting situation. What a fascinating situation it is. It's not intrinsic to the I. It's not outside, it's not inside me, and it's not outside me either. Then why am I giving? That means what? It is non-existent. Mithya. Mithya is like that. You cannot locate it. You try to locate anything, it will just keep shifting. What is this? Fabric. So, this is fabric? No. This is yarn. The cause of this is yarn. Okay, the shifting cause. Fabric becomes effect, yarn becomes cause. What is the cause of yarn? Fibers. Fibers become the cause, yarn has now become effect. So if I say yarn is the cause, I am spinning a yarn. That's what I am doing. So I can't say yarn is the cause anymore. Why? Fibers are the cause. Fibers are the cause? No, no, no. Fiber is the effect. What is the cause? Cotton is the cause. Cotton is the cause? No, no, no. That's just a pod. Cotton flower, cotton bush, cotton seed. That's what cotton bush is the cause. Cotton bush is the cause. What is the cause of cotton bush? Cotton tree, cotton seed. What is the cause of cotton seed? Huh? Another seed, another bush, and then bush seed, bush seed, bush seed, bush seed, bush seed. We will be going all, this retreat will be never ending. Instead of Atma being never ending, the retreat will become never ending. You see, everything goes in a spin like this. Nothing, you cannot categorically pin it down. Everything is very elusive. We say happiness is elusive, but we've got it all wrong, because what is really elusive is sorrow. Happiness is very, very much there. Because in between bouts of crying, I'm able to smile. At a joke which I don't even know, I'm able to smile. I'm able to laugh. What does that mean? That happiness is centered on I. The sorrow comes and goes. Sorrow is mithya. Happiness is centered on I. The sorrow is centered on raga dvesha. Please write this down. This is what is very important. Listen carefully. Happiness is centered on I. Sorrow is centered on what? Raga dvesha. Raga dvesha centric is the sorrow. Happiness is I. This, if we don't understand, we do a somersault. We get everything ulta. What is ulta? Sorrow is centered on I, happiness is outside. This is what I think. This is what I think. I make it do a headstand and it's all wrong. Then what is the conclusion? Sorrow is Atma centric. Sorrow is centered on I. And then happiness is outside, so the sorrowful I has to go and keep on plucking happiness out of various places. I become a happiness fiend. I become a happiness beggar, waiting for somehow the happiness to come. We've got it all wrong. So, there is not the Ananda which is Brahmananda. There cannot be. Why? Because otherwise there will be Anantasya Hanihi. Then Brahman will no longer be limitless if I posit two sources of Ananda. One is Brahmananda and the other one is what? Everyday Ananda. Everyday Ananda, according to many people, including Mahatmas, is separate from Brahmananda. If it is separate, then Brahman will become what? Finite. And knowing Brahman, what will I get? Nothing. Knowing Brahman is like knowing Mama. Yes. Pujya Swamiji used to joke. He used to have a lot of Mama jokes. Who is Mama? He would ask. The person with a double M-A. So, this is the thing. I will think that this Brahman is like one more thing to be known. People already think that. That is the orientation. That's why when confronted and people, when I tell people, you know what, please come study. What do they say? I don't have time. Places to go, people to see. One more thing to do, I have no time. This is not one more thing to do. This is the thing which you, if you understand, all other things to do will really drop. Either that or you will start to do them without stress. Many things will drop, many things you will do very stress-free. So this wrong conclusion is being tackled in this verse. Namely, sorrow is centered on I. Sorrow is Atma-centric or Anatma-centric? This is the question. So sorrow cannot be centered on Atma. Sorrow is also not centered on not I, the world. That's why it's mithya. Understand this carefully. If sorrow was centered on the world, as soon as I saw you, I should start weeping. Because for me, what? You are Anatma. And as soon as you see me, you should start crying. But you don't do that. When we greet each other, we laugh, we smile, we rejoice. This means what? Sorrow is not when you see a tree, what do? You smile. What a lovely tree. You see some of these trees are blooming in this red gulmohar flowers. Beautiful flowers. It's a riot of orange and red. You see, if the tree was the cause of sorrow, if the Jagat was the cause of sorrow, when I see things in the Jagat, I should start crying. In fact, I shouldn't get up at all. I should just go back to bed under the covers. This is where Vedanta differs from Buddhism. Buddhism says the world is sorrow, the world is the cause of your sorrow. That is the basic premise. Vedanta says the world is Brahman. And what is Brahman? Ananda. So the world is Ananda. The world is joyful. Joyful Jagat is where I am living. But I don't feel it. Put the Raga Dveshas to sleep, buy them some pacifiers, put them to sleep, and then you will see. When you get rid of the scales of subjectivity that are in front of the eyes, then you see the world shine as Bhagavan. Bhagavan is not the cause of sorrow. Brahman awareness is not the cause of sorrow. Atma is not the cause of sorrow. And what we call Anatma is ultimately what? Atma alone. So even Anatma is not the cause of sorrow. Atma is not the cause of sorrow. What is this sorrow? Mithya. Where did it come from? Who knows? Who cares? Whole of Vedanta is like that. It's all a series of paradox. Pujya Swamiji used to take us on all these impossible riddles. What is a tree? He would ask. And he himself would answer. Define a tree. And his definition is that which has treeness. Let us say is a tree. So now comes the very important question. Is the treeness intrinsic to the tree or is it extrinsic to the tree? Well, one would say it is intrinsic to the tree. But then if it were intrinsic to the tree, then I would not say that which has treeness. So that which I am pointing to is free of treeness. That's why I am saying that which has treeness is a tree. Big mystery. That which has treeness is a tree means what? Focus on the word that. That means that which is free of treeness is now having treeness as its attribute. So where is this attribute of treeness? It's not intrinsic to the tree and it cannot be outside of the tree. You cannot say the tree came from Prithvi, the earth, so earth has treeness. No, earth has earthness. That which has earthness is the earth. Same kind of a maze we can do with pot and clay. That which has clayness is pot. Oh, then where is the clayness located? Is the clayness located in pot? No, because otherwise I wouldn't have said that which has clayness is pot. And then, so maybe clay is the source of clayness. No, the clay is not the source of clayness. Because again we say that which has clayness. So where is this clayness? Where is this potness? Where is this treeness? This is all these kinds of thinking is to massage the brain cells into understanding two things. One is nothing is outside of Brahman. So this intrinsic, extrinsic, whatever we are talking, Atma, Anatma is all happening within awareness. Within quotes. There is nothing outside of Brahman. So if you replace treeness with sadness, and then I define the jiva, that which has sadness is the jiva. If I say, where is sadness intrinsic to the jiva? Cannot, because then I would not have said that which has sadness. And then what? Then it should be outside of the jiva. Outside of the jiva is what? Jagat, to which the jiva relates. And we already saw what is Jagat? Ananda. Jagat is totally Ananda. Jagat is a source of delight. So then, where is the sadness? What does the that refer to? Ultimately, it has to refer to Brahman. Sadness is as though Brahmashraya. Just like ignorance, Brahmashraya means everything is that the emotion of sadness has come from where? Brahman. Just like the smallest of everything and the biggest of everything has come from where? Brahman. So don't say Brahman is responsible for my sadness. Have another complex now. Where will I go? Especially if it is happening at the end of the retreat. Oh, you studied Upadesha-Saram. What is the gist? Give me the Sara of the Saram. Well, Brahman is responsible for all my problems, including sadness. No. So, we have to look at the local reasons. We have now gone global. Come back to the local. Sadness, where we notice, when does the sadness get an invite, an invitation card? You are cordially invited to come and weep. When does it get the invitation? Whenever my raga dveshas are not fulfilled. You see, there is a connection. Locally, I have to take responsibility. Locally, what happens? Whenever the raga and the dvesha stand unfulfilled, one starts to weep. I didn't get this, nobody loves me, even though I love them, nobody did this for me. Why should anybody do anything for you? No, but I have somebody has to do something. So, you see, the raga dvesha and the sadness are great friends. The raga dvesha is unfulfilled, then the sadness mounts and mounts and mounts. This we have to understand. Then another point, I don't know which number we are on, another point to look at is that this raga dvesha, where did it come from? Because we are looking at the origins of everything anyway. So we have to do this analysis also. Thankfully, we don't have to go far. Because the Lord says, Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvesham buddhau ragadveshau vyavasthitau. Appa, thank God. Meaning, ragadveshas have been put into every head. So ragadveshas are not my problem. It is not Jiva Srishti, it is what? Ishvara Srishti. Yay! Yippee! Not so fast. Why? I'm waiting to celebrate. No, put your hands down. Why? We have to read the fine print. Tayoho vashamna agachet tau hi asya purushasya sadhakasya paripanthinau. So do not come under their spell, O Arjuna. Yes, I have given ragadveshas in every mind. Okay, you can say that the ragadveshas in every mind have been created. It is Ishvara Srishti, it is not Jiva Srishti. But what are you doing? You are putting ghee on that fire. Yeah, you are putting water. You are keeping on nurturing and growing the ragadveshas into a thick forest, where Bhagavan, poor Bhagavan, lies hidden. Poor Atma is there in the middle of this forest. Poor Satchidananda Atma, Brahmatma is there in the middle of the forest, unappreciated, undiscovered, unknown. While the Raga Dveshas proliferate and have their own ecosystem. Like a forest has its own ecosystem, each thing depends on the other. The Raga Dveshas can do that. So yes, I'm not responsible for the Raga Dveshas because every buddhi comes with Raga and Dvesha. This is how the Maya, goddess Maya has created this world because Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Wherever there is Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, then wherever there is Rajas and Tamas, what will be there? Raga Dvesha. It will definitely be there. But along with Raga Dvesha, Bhagavan has given me what? Free will. Free will to overcome, to know the Raga Dvesha, free will to overcome the force of my likes and dislikes, to keep my emotions in order, free will to let go of my anger, to manage my emotions. The ability to manage my emotions is also given. So you cannot blame Bhagavan. You can't say it's all your fault that I am not happy. Why? Because you gave me Raga Dveshas. So Raga Dveshas are there, yes. They are part of Bhagavan's order. Nay, they are the manifestation of Bhagavan. That's why when the small child pouts, I'm never going to talk with you again. 3-year-old says. We all laugh. We find it endearing. We see Ishvara in the 2-year-old. But in the 52-year-old, not so much. Not so much. Why? What happened? Because the 2-year-old is innocent. It doesn't know it has free will. The brain is not developed. It's just a manifestation of Ishvara. Walking, talking Ishvara. It is the 3-year-old, 2-year-old toddler, which says, I'll never speak to mommy again, I'll never look at daddy again. This is what? But in a 52-year-old, it is uncute. Okay? It's not cute at all. Why? Because we expect the 52-year-old to have undergone a process of emotional maturity, or at least present continuous. We expect him or her to be undergoing a commitment or a process of emotional growth, emotional maturity, mental maturity. And what is that maturity? Yes, Raga Dveshas are there. Yes, sometimes I can come under their spell, but then 2 things are not allowed. According to Karma Yoga, according to just common sense, according to Dharma, 2 things are not allowed. What are they? I cannot target others because of my Raga Dveshas. I do not target others because of my Raga Dveshas. And then what is the second thing that is no? I do not target myself. In other words, I don't explode, I don't implode. I don't beat anybody up. I don't give them a lashing with my tongue. And I don't beat myself up either. This is when the commitment to emotional growth starts. And when the commitment to emotional growth starts, then happiness is already yours. The wrong conclusion that happiness is outside the self, is extrinsic to the self, is gone. Happiness is centered on you. But then why do I go after things? Because the Raga Dvesha thicket forest is in the way. So what do? I try to please the Raga Dveshas and make the mind in a favorable state to enjoy little breadcrumbs of happiness. Little crumbs of happiness. When the whole buffet is there. Bhagavan's buffet of Brahmananda is there. I'm invited to sit at the table, but yet what do? Like a little doggy, I sit begging for scraps, somebody will give something. And then whatever falls down, sometimes when children sit to eat, they drop things. And all the dogs will go there and start eating that. And I'm dogged in thinking that this is what the whole, this is what I want to just hoard like a rag picker. Rag picker? They take bottles, rags, tin things and everything and go and recycle. I am also a rag picker of happiness. So if a rag picker is picking rags, you feel sorry for them because they are in straitened circumstances. They have to go through the garbage and pick out things to sell. Poor things, you feel sorry for them. But here is a prince or a princess. And this princess has the whole kingdom. She's going to inherit this kingdom. She's going to be the queen one day, or he's going to be the king one day. And what is he doing? Begging in the streets. Begging in the streets. Whether you should feel sorry or doubly sorry, I don't know, at this kind of a scenario. If you don't have and you beg, it's one thing. But you are sitting on a treasure chest and crying, and then begging. You have a begging bowl, but what are you sitting? On a mound, on a hillock of solid gold. You are sitting and saying, I don't have anything, I don't have anything. This is our problem. This is why there is a sorrow attacking, because my whole way of trying to go about gaining the happiness which is already mine is all wrong. I go about trying to gain the happiness by pleasing the raga dveshas. And that happiness is of course ephemeral. How long the raga dvesha is pleased? By the time you ask the raga dvesha, hello raga, hello dvesha, are you happy? The moment is gone. Yeah, I was happy now. That's what it is. So we forget. And this is what is talked about in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Etasya anandasya sarvani bhutani matrameva upajivanti. Of this ananda, there is only one ananda. You can't have two anandas. So out of this ananda alone, this limitless ananda, because of not understanding how to work with raga dvesha, what do the people do? They just matram upajivanti. They get little crumbs of happiness. Here a little crumb, there in between dukkha. Oh, everything is going, oh look, there is a little more crumb. This is how one leads the life. This is in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And the same thing is reiterated in the Manisha Panchakam also. This Saukhyam Buddhi, Yat Saukhyam Buddhi Lesha Leshatah Ime Shakradayoho Nirvritaha. So this Saukhyam Buddhi, one is at the ocean of Sukha. Saukhyam Buddhi means ocean of happiness. And in order to take the ocean, sip in the ocean of unbridled happiness, even devatas like Indra, Shakra means Indra, etc. Indra, Vayu, Agni, Varuna, Yama, all these lords, all these devatas, what do? They take a little thimble and they are able to sip it. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, we have Ananda Mimamsa, an analysis of happiness. For this reason alone, we have this analysis, a fantastic analysis. First, we establish a hypothetical unit, because it cannot be real, a hypothetical unit of human happiness. Yuva syat sadhu yuva dhyayakah. Who is this person? Yuva, young man. And before the women come and say, what about me? Why not young woman? Well, because the young man here, because of the physical strength, etc. Because that will be talked about soon. This is a hypothetical unit, okay? Ideal, typical unit of humans' happiness, yuva syat, young. Oh, young man, fantastic. That must be very restless. No, sadhu yuva. There was one TV show, Young and Restless. But here, Young and Sadhu, completely opposite. You can't imagine. Young and Sadhu. OMG. Oh, well, must be a dullard, must be having some ADD or developmental challenges. No. Adhyayakaha has studied, educated. Then what? Must be a nerd, the type of people who are whiz at computers. But maybe he's on the high end of the spectrum, but nobody knows, but he's just can't socialize with anybody. No. Ashishta knows how to talk to people. Charming. Dradhishta. Oh, must be wishy-washy. No. Very of resolve, of strength. Dradhishta, balishta. Of great strength. Okay, well, must be like a thin fellow. You go, foo, and he falls down. No, balishta. Kasrat karta hai, goes to the gym daily. Well, he's sounding like now son-in-law material for all the Indian parents. Yeah, the mama, double MA, he is convinced. Mama is convinced. Mama says, fantastic. Let's not even worry about horoscope. This is a fine man for our daughter. Mommy, the auntie is practical. Mommy says, show me the money. What is you can't sit and eat sadhuta. You can't sit and eat, resolve. You can't sit and eat this thing. What is my daughter going to do? She'll be on the streets. Then comes the next line. What is the next line? The next line says that Iyam Prithvi Sarva Vittasya Purna Syat. So, Yeyam Prithvi, this whole universe, this whole earth with all resources, natural resources, and then oil resources, putting to shame all these Saudi Arabian, people. And then oil resources, natural resources, don't forget mineral resources, gold, diamonds, everything. Tree in the form of trees, ocean, everything belongs to him alone. Mommy is satisfied. This is Ekaha Manusha Ananda, one unit of human happiness. Then they tell you to do some Vedic mathematics. Okay, what is that? Multiply that by 100. Teye shatam manusha ananda. Okay, multiplication is done. Then what? Sa eko manushya gandharvanam ananda. The 100 units of human happiness becomes 1 unit of a lower rung celestial's happiness, who called half Manushya, half Gandharva, meaning musically mad for music. These Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras are all the time singing. And singing, there is an absorption, that's why. They're singing, they're just absorbed in what they are doing, and so there is a certain level of happiness there. 1 unit of human happiness, 100 units of human happiness, 1 unit of Manushya Gandharva's happiness. Then afterwards you multiply that also by 100, then you get 1 unit of Deva Gandharvas, people who only play for the Devas. They entertain the Devas. Deva Gandharva's happiness, then you multiply that by 100, and then you get 1 unit of Gandharva's happiness, then you multiply that by 100, and then you get Ajanajanam Lokanam Anandaha. There are certain devatas, Ajana they are called, and so 1 unit of their happiness, then you multiply that by 100, and then you get 1 unit of the ancestral happiness living in ancestors living in Pitraloka. Mind you, we are talking of dharmic ancestors who are enjoying. We are not talking of Jack the Ripper and all these. We are not talking of those people. Ancestors means people who have been dharmic, who have, because of their punya, gained a stay there. So 100 units of ancestral happiness is 1 unit of Karma Deva's happiness. Who are these Karma Devas? Chaiwalas in heaven, in various lokas. Ye karmana devana yanti. And then 100 units of these Chaiwalas happiness is 1 unit of Deva's happiness. Abba, finally. 100 units of Deva's happiness is 1 unit of the ruler of Deva's happiness. Who is the ruler of Devas? Abba. Whoever said Vishnu, see me after class. Okay? So 1 unit of Indra's, 100 units of Indra's happiness is 1 unit of his Guru's happiness, Brihaspati's happiness, Deva Guru. 100 units of Brihaspati's happiness is 1 unit of Prajapati's happiness. 100 units of Prajapati's happiness is 1 unit of Lord Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha's happiness. Hiranyagarbha means the potential to create. Bhagavan in the form of the potential to create. So, Hiranyagarbha, Brahmaji's happiness, there the analysis stops because it becomes futile to analyze any further. You can go only up till here with measurable happiness. The best of the happiness that you can enjoy in this loka is Brahmaji's. After that, there is nothing else to enjoy. Laukika happiness, meaning happiness which is born of one punya, because previous punya is what gives me the happy, allows me to be happy. It is A, born of punya, good deeds, and then B, it is experiential and it is born of the subject-object fusion. In Indra's case, Indra is the subject. What is the object? The overlordship of the whole devas. That is the object that he is enjoying. The status is the object. So, when we talk of happiness that is generated extrinsically by the fulfillment of raga-dveshas, we have to stop there. There is nothing beyond that. That is the ultimate. Okay, at least let me get that. Not before you study the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Why? Because that says, Abrahma bhuvanal lokat punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarjanmana vidyate. So wherever you go, O Arjuna, you go to Brahma Loka, sit in front of Brahmaji, even let us say you become Brahmaji because half the time you are meditating, the other half the time you are praying and doing yajna. Even in sleep you are going like this, making motions of offering ghee. Even if you by mistake go to Brahmaloka, what will happen? Nothing. You have to come back. If the problem here, thinking that the happiness is outside myself, is not fulfilled, if that problem is not solved, you have to come back. So therefore the Ananda Mimamsa analysis ends on that note. This is the ultimate you can get in terms of worldly happiness, which is what? Which is Brahmananda alone, but this Brahmananda is truncated Brahmananda experienced through subject-object fusion. That is the end. Meanwhile, I have not told you the chorus. The chorus is this person sitting under a tree. Who is what? Who has studied Vedanta and who has taken care of the raga-dveshas, who is not hijacked by the raga-dveshas, who has studied Vedanta, Shrotriya, and who has not been hijacked by raga-dvesha, akama-hataha. Don't say akamena hataha, no, na kama-hataha, the one that is not hijacked by desires. Every unit of Ananda, this person enjoys without having that level and status. So, ya eko manusha anandah shrotriyasya chakamahatasya, then te shatam manusha anandah so ya eko manushya gandharvanam anandah shrotriyasya chakamahatasya. Throughout it is the chorus. Without going anywhere, without becoming Indra, Chandra, Devendra, without becoming anything. without gaining that particular status, without gaining money, fame, name, riches, recognition. Nothing. That person enjoys all the levels of happiness just effortlessly sitting here. All that the person did was two things. One is they took Vedanta seriously and they studied. Committed exposure to Vedanta until the job is done. Until the ignorance is spirited away. They studied, number one. Second, they did the homework of managing their raga and dvesha. This is a very important homework. This is a preparation to gain the knowledge. So they managed the raga and dvesha and let go of many things because this knowledge was important to them. Otherwise, what do? We keep looking around. What will fulfill my raga now? What will fulfill my dvesha now? How can I go about this now? This is not what they did. What did they do? They let go of a lot of things. They sacrificed their subject-object fusion-born happiness. They sacrificed at the altar of Brahmananda. They said, I'm not going for these small happinesses. I want to understand that I am the source. I don't want to be happy. I don't want to experience a bout of happiness just by pleasing the raga dveshas. I want to know what is underneath the raga dveshas. Is a happy person who is unacknowledged, uninterrogated, unknown, waiting to be discovered. Raso vaisaha rasagrhyevayam labdhva nandi bhavati. Raso vaisaha. This Atma is the rasa that you are looking for. It is the source of all sara. It is the source of happiness. You are the source of happiness. You are not wanting anything else. That is the rasa. And gaining which one becomes happy. Becomes means understands one is happy. This is what Ramana Maharshi wants us to understand very, very carefully. And so, if I have not seriously striven to get rid of my self-ignorance, then that means I am not taking happiness seriously. That's the thing. Why? Because I am born of two kinds of ignorance. Ignorance of anatma, ignorance of atma. Ignorance of anatma keeps dropping on its own. Right now, Mauritius ignorance is dropping for all of us. Now we know what is Mauritius. We have been around enough to see and to enjoy it. Mauritius ignorance is dropping. So many things, what is this bread fruit? It's a waste of time, I tell you. Yeah, bread fruit ignorance is dropping. And then, what else? Breadfruit ignorance is dropping. Dodo ignorance is dropping because Mauritius was the home of dodo bird. Yeah. And now it was eaten out of existence. That's why we say as extinct as the dodo bird. Now they are bringing it back. They are cloning it and bringing it back. Yeah. They are bringing it back. They will introduce it back to Mauritius and these areas where it was found in Madagascar, Mauritius, Reunion. They have cloned successfully they have cloned, at least conceptually, the dodo bird. The dodo bird, poor thing, was a land-bound bird. It didn't fly very much. And people said, finished, catch, eat. Catch, kill, eat mentality. From last life, we don't have. Yeah. No, I'm not saying the Mauritians ate it. The Dutch people ate it. Colonizers ate it. This is important to remember. Mauritians absorbed. Yes. So now Mauritius ignorance dropped how? On its own. Did we have to do anything about it? No. You just have to come here and all the ignorances dropped. Dal puri, ignorance dropped because somebody brought us that. Now we know what is that. Effortlessly, anatma, ignorance drops. Aha, Atma is ignorance also drops effortlessly one day. Sitting under a tree, I will have knowledge, self-knowledge. Does that happen? Not unless you have been taught and you are sitting under a tree for Nididhyasana, that's different. Pujya Swamiji would go so far as to say, yes, sitting under a tree you get the knowledge. What is the knowledge? Never sit under a tree because you are dropping. Some other kind of dropping is there. Cheep, 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 the birds above. Enough of this. Let's go to the next verse. Yeah. I think we have understood. If we haven't, Om Namaha. There will be another retreat, don't worry. Bandhamuktyatitam param sukham Vindati haji vastu daivikaha. So this is defining moksha. Somebody asked, what is the definition of moksha? We have to wait till the 29th verse. Because why did Ramana wait till the 29th verse to define moksha? Because had he done it in verse number 1, by the time it was the end, we would have forgotten. Yeah. We wish. But, we would have forgotten. That's the explanation I am giving anyway. Okay? And that's the same explanation I give when we study the beginning of the 13th chapter, where there are 20 values of preparation given. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, all the values. Ahimsa, kshantihi, arjavam, etc., etc. All the values are given. And then there's a whole list of values, 20 values given. And then somebody, if they ask, why were they not given in the beginning? Why wait till 2/3 of the Bhagavad Gita is over? Then only you give these values for preparing for this knowledge. I always say it is if they were given in the beginning, we would have run away. All the students would have run away because it's too much to assimilate. Now that one is hooked to the Bhagavad Gita, having studied 2/3 of it, now I'll be able to sit and listen and inculcate those values. Similarly, the definition of moksha coming at the end is very propitious because we end at a beautiful note. We don't end on the note of bandha. What do we end on the note? Moksha, freedom. That's another reason, because we always have to end on an auspicious note. Even in olden times, even about 20, 30 years ago, maybe even 50 years ago, if you go to see a movie in India, were vernacular language movies, if you see at the end they would say Shubham, Mangalam. Shubham and Mangalam means what? This is auspiciousness. You always end on an auspicious note. You begin with a prayer that is auspicious, and you always end on an auspicious note, because no matter what happens in the middle end, it doesn't matter, but we have come back full circle. We end on an auspicious note. Let us see the meaning, and then we'll see it in detail in the evening class, afternoon class. Bandha mukti atitam. Atita means that which is beyond. Beyond what? Bondage and liberation. Again, these two are dyads, like good and bad, knowledge and ignorance. And then bondage and freedom. Param sukham. Happiness that is limitless. Vindati, gains. Who jivaha daivikaha. Daivikaha jivaha gains. Daivikaha jivaha has 2-3 meanings, but the surface level meaning is that the individual who has celestial virtues, divine virtues, daivikaha. Then tu iha means while living, indeed the person gains. More we'll see later. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ